This experience was uploaded to the subreddit, Ghost Stories, by user, BeautifulNet2409.
The Haunted Work Building. I've been looking for this kind of sub because I've been dying to share these experiences. I'm an avid believer in the paranormal, but if I wasn't, this building would have done it for me. I used to work in a pretty standard pub, small English town, lots of local regulars, nothing out of the ordinary. But after a while, the staff started to tell me stories. I learned it was an old Victorian house, with a family living upstairs, a woman living where the bar was, and that the cellar had once been a doctor's surgery. The deepest room in the cellar was used as a laundry room, but had always made me extremely uneasy. I was told this was where the old surgery was, and that there was a ghost in the cellar that didn't like women in there. They said the only way to protect yourself was to tell the ghost you had a right to be there. I also heard that the woman who died in the bar was still there. I was uneasy, but I kept working. Nothing happened until I'd been there a few months. The first big experience, I was in the pub alone before a shift. I'd gone down to the cellar to collect bottles of drinks to refill the fridges upstairs. I then decided to go deeper into the cellar to get clean towels. On my way out, the lights cut. I heard the laundry door slam behind me, and footsteps coming up behind me. They sounded so heavy, like a man. I heard heavy breathing and I swear my heart was pounding. As soon as the footsteps stopped, the lights came on. There was nobody there. But I ran. I ran upstairs, bolted the door. I had the worst feeling. When my colleagues turned up, they said I was shaking. I remember just praying and refusing to go back downstairs. The second experience, I was in the bar with my colleague, when a woman walked up to the bar. We were serving other customers, so she was in our periphery. She very clearly asked us if we could please help her. We said yes, just to wait a minute please, and she said that she'd be waiting. She walked out of the bar and into the adjoining concert room. Once I'd finished serving, we went into that room to see what she wanted. She was gone. What made it weird? That room had no other exits. She walked in, and vanished. We checked the CCTV and there was no sign, but we had both seen her. It shook me up, but unlike the first encounter in the cellar, I didn't feel scared. I felt sad. It was like she was a residual spirit, lost and lonely. I hope she's managed to find peace. The third experience, this one was the second negative experience. Every area in the building had a telephone in it, the idea being that we could just call each room, as it was a huge building. The only phone that was broken was the one in the cellar, because it never worked and my boss just didn't see the point in replacing it. Nobody really used the phones anyway. I'd finished up for the day and had gone upstairs to the office and staff room. I was collecting my bags when the internal phone in the office rang. I was very surprised because there was nobody else in the building. I went to check the screen to see where the person was calling from. They were calling from the cellar phone, the one that had been broken for years. I frantically texted the other staff, they confirmed nobody was there. I answered the phone, nobody spoke, so I hung up. The second I did, they started calling again. I had that awful uneasy feeling from the cellar ghost again. I grabbed my things and got the hell out. I told my boss the next day, and she checked the cellar, confirmed the phone was still out of use. I felt really sick. That place had so many little spooky things, doors closing, bar shutters rattling, things moving around. Snooker balls rolling on their own, curtains twitching, but none of that stuck with me like these three experiences. The second one just made me sad, but the encounters in that cellar made me feel sick. I used to dread going down there. I'd feel upset and emotional every time I left the cellar, and would only feel safe if I prayed or if I crossed myself. I've no idea what was living down there, but it can't have been good. Every woman who went into that cellar came out looking pale and upset and needed a few minutes to herself. I was thrilled when I got to quit that job,